Mental errors. Certainly wasn't high-level football today.
Do you think that's because it was the end of the season? Or do you think it's just sometimes you have those games, the opponent, mixture?
It's tough to say. I mean, we certainly can't have the mental errors we had today. What caused that? I don't know. But can't happen.
You were able to keep Myles Garrett out until we finally got the one late. What was the approach to kind of how big of a part of the game plan was keeping him neutralized and out of back?
Yeah, you have to if you want to be successful against that team. He's the focus of our game plan every time we play him. It's no secret. You have to, and it's challenging because you have to commit resources to that, and that takes away resources from elsewhere. But for the most part, I thought we were pretty good against him today. But you can see how impactful he is. We had no help on him one time, and he gets one. And then he was, I'm pretty sure it was him that put his hand up and knocked the ball down on the goal line into an interception. I don't know that for sure because I haven't watched the tape, but it was his side. It was one of those guys over there. So he's an aware, elite player that you have to revolve your game plan around.
I know we've asked you a lot about the future. So sorry for a few future questions last time we get to talk to you for a little bit. How involved do you plan to be? I know you said quarterback, but you also know your voice carries a lot of weight here in this organization. How involved do you plan to be in conversations with Mike, Duke, Zach immediately following the season about what you think and what you want this franchise to do to make sure that this offseason goes the way that you want it to?
Yeah, I think we'll have those meetings the next couple of days. I think for the most part we're all on the same page about what we have to do and where we have to go. Without having the meetings, it's tough to say, but I know they certainly value my opinion. I think about things critically. I think that I can provide some insight into things going on in the locker room and on the field that could help us win, and so I plan to voice some things just like I do every offseason.
Just to follow up on that, I know you're not going to share a lot publicly, but whatever you're comfortable sharing, if you had to say what you want to see most this offseason done by this organization to help support you, what would you say it is?
Yeah, it's tough to say right now without talking to people, and those meetings will be done the next few days. I'm very confident in our coaching staff. I know those guys work really hard to put us in good positions, and I always feel well prepared and put in the best spot to go out and succeed. So from that standpoint, I think we're in a good spot.
Do you have the same level of confidence in the organization as you did at the beginning of the year, higher or lower?
We all want to win.
Do you think your championship mindset is being matched organizationally? Do you see that? Do you feel that?
I mean, I sure hope so. I think I know everybody's frustrated right now, so it's hard to. There's a disconnect during the season. We're all down here and focused on the day-to-day and trying to get better, and it's their job upstairs to focus on the big picture and where we need to go and who we need to be. So I know they're committed to that.
When you guys were winning division titles and going to the AFC Championship game and went to Super Bowl 56, the big reason why was some of your free agents that you guys brought in and external guys. How important do you think for this organization?
Yeah, that's of paramount importance. I think you have to identify where you're weak and figure out a way to be strong in that area. That's the NFL year in and year out. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but you have to attack that period with intent to get better.
Were you surprised when they stopped the game and Garrett got the record? Zach said the officials hadn't informed him in advance. So that
Yeah, I mean, was I surprised? No. No, I wasn't surprised. That's typically how they handle those kinds of situations.
Can you walk us through that play and that led on his sack, what y'all called it, kind of how he won? Do you remember?
You know, I'm trying to remember if we had. It's tough to recall right now the exact protection IDs on that. Whether we, because certain looks you can't have help on 95 because of the potential pressure responses that they give. But it's tough to remember the exact call in that situation off the top of my head.
When going back to some of the earlier questions, when you guys are this far removed now from being in the postseason, does that kind of wear on you and build maybe a little bit more pressure, on everybody to get back to that point when it gets further and further away from where y'all expect to be?
We certainly aren't where we want or need to be. Not where I expect to be. So yeah, we have to figure it out. We got to figure it out.
I don't think Denai had a catch in the second half until that last drive. Anything you guys do to open it up or anything?
No, not particularly. We wanted to come in and run the ball, try to mitigate the effect of their rush, and I think we ran it well. We got to a point in the game that we couldn't really do that anymore, so then we started dropping back and throwing it a little more, and I thought we were effective.
I
Talked
don't
about,
think they had the top corners early. Did you try to take advantage of that, or was it kind of that they went into something different?
Yeah, I think we did take advantage of that for the most part. I think we moved the ball well all day. It came down to them making a play on the goal line, putting their hand up, getting a tip, and then we fumbled and gave them another 7 points. So without those two corners out there, they certainly called the game a little differently than they would have otherwise. And I also thought we responded well to that and had the answers to those coverages that we were facing.
you talked about needing to find a way to be on the field more when you reflected on this season. With so many of your injuries just being fluke, what do you mean by that, and what can you do if you can do anything?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. I work really hard to be great at this and try to put myself in a good position and put the team in a good position. So, whatever that looks like, I'm not sure. I'm going to certainly think critically about that and maybe make some changes, maybe not. Maybe I decide that what I'm doing is great and putting myself in a good position and, things happen. But certainly we'll think about it.